Which is best, diplomacy or directness? And that's really something to think about. Once upon a time, I was a believer that direct was the best way to handle all matters. After all, most people would say, tell me the truth and stop beating around the bush. To me, diplomacy was exactly that, beating around the bush and wasting time. Life was good for me when I would just blurt out the facts. At least that's what I thought they were, facts. And let's just move on. Let me put it this way. The sooner you know that you have to visit a dentist, the sooner everyone can breathe in fresher air. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Until one fine day, it happened to me. Tell you a story. My coworker bought her birthday cake in the office to celebrate with everybody else. She had like a week-long celebration, and she climaxed it with this beautiful chocolate cake. I mean, it was gorgeous. Let me segue here a little and tell you a little about myself, that something you need to know. I am terrified of buffet lines. Why? The very thought of people standing over the food and talking about the food at the food line, so you know what's happening, right? All kind of biological things are happening and biological mixes are happening that I can't take. So, with that being said, let me move on with the story. Okay. So, guess how much candles my colleagues had on a cake? Just take a guess. Take a guess. Now, let me give you a hint. She's turning 30. So, how many candles do you think was on that cake? That's right, sisters and brothers. 30 candles. 30 candles. So you can imagine my horror when she began to blow out the candles. And she is blowing with all her might and all her biological chemicals flying all over the place. And I'm looking around and saying, nobody's seeing this? How come nobody's seeing this? Oh my God. And she expects us to eat that? Well, you never guess. Who got the third piece of cake? Me. It would have been okay, right? It would have been okay if she did not insist that I eat the cake. Well, everybody knows that I'm a foodie. I love food. And she wanted me to taste this cake right there and then. And I tried to back off and tell her, no, I don't want to. And she insisted. Let me tell you, I'm too embarrassed to say what I said. In fact, I took what I said and put that in my memory so deep that I can't even remember. All I know is everybody just stopped and stared at me. And when I looked at my colleague's face, oh my God, she was so broken. She was so mad. She was so, oh, I can't explain it. It was painful. It was painful for me to watch. Let me tell you, that day I died, but I was also reborn into a believer of diplomacy. You see, words are powerful. It's better to beat around the bush than to crush another human being's spirit. Shakespeare says that we see each other as we are. Yes, I'm tough and I can handle the toughest criticism. Even if it's not constructive, I still can handle it. But that doesn't mean the next person can. Like I said, words are powerful. They're like seeds. They take root and grow in the human consciousness. And the human consciousness is where our belief system lives. You know what follows after that? After you plant that seed, whether it's a good or bad seed, the person, after they continue to ponder over what you say repetitively, it becomes a part of their belief system. And in this case, even though what I said may have been truth, but it was harsh truth, you know, and the way she may look at her birthday may be different. I might have ruined which, should have been a beautiful day for her. I might have ruined that. So now every birthday, maybe this would come up in her mind. She may not enjoy celebrating with people because of what I did in a crowd of people. Get what I'm saying? Um, we cannot expect to plant weeds and expect apples, apple trees. I could have done it better. We all could agree I could have done it better. Um, from that day, guess who was the master of diplomacy now? I know that's right. That's me. Yes, I am the master of diplomacy. I've come to respect this type of communication called diplomacy. Let me tell you, looking back, how I could have done this differently. Let's say she would have, cut the third piece of cake and brought it to me. I could have said, "Thank you so much for considering me, but I'm not having any cake today." Especially how everybody know that I'm always careful of what I eat, you know. So it would have gone off well. I could have said, um, I'm not having any cake today, but I'll and if she insisted, I would have said, okay, I'll take it home, right? And then I could have deflected so she wouldn't suspect that anything was wrong. I could have deflected and asked her, so who baked this cake? Can I have this person's number? Because when I have another event, I want to consider purchasing a cake or having this person bake a cake for me. Um, I could have also taken a direct route that wasn't so harsh. I could have pulled her on the side and I could have said, even though this thought seemed fun to you to blow out the candles for all of us to celebrate, I think that this is something you maybe want to reconsider. And if she asked me why, then I could have, come back with a play of words and said, girl, you don't like eating after other people. If somebody blow up on your food, you won't eat it. And then she would have an awareness, and I would be telling her indirectly, don't blow on the candles because everybody probably is considering not eating the cake because she blew on the candles. And she might have said to me, um, two things could have happened. She could have said, I see what you're saying, or she could have refused to listen to what I had to say. And then it was at that time, I would have reserved the right to refuse the cake because she now understands why. And she probably wouldn't even offer me a third cake. And maybe, it would have gone well. But that blowout session over the cake, listen, even though I understand the art of diplomacy, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't eat food that people had their biological chemicals um, rest on. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying, you know. But yeah, y'all understand me. Y'all my people. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. But diplomacy is good. It has prevented many of wars and many of crushed spirits. I think leaders would do well to learn and master the act of diplomacy. I believe it's so much better to make friends than it is to make enemies. Make no mistakes. There are times when it's imperative for you to be direct. Direct, yes, but respectful. We still could choose the right words and still be direct. I believe that we all have a responsibility to avoid destroying the next person's life through our, what you call it, arrangement of words, whether direct or indirect. Learn to speak the language of others. They would be more inclined to listen to you no matter how difficult the message. You know what I mean? Learn the language. Meet people where they are. Try to understand what it's in that belief system. And once you understand somebody, it's easy for you to communicate with them. Anyway, I gotta go, but I hope this chat has made a believer of you. Um, and it helps you, and I hope it helps you be a little bit more mindful. So you won't end up like me with, a case of foot and mouth disease. Oh, it's so crazy. Anyway, thank you for listening. See you later. Bye bye.